Okay. Hello, how are you all this afternoon almost? In 2 more minutes? Hi, Lee. I just discovered my cupcake costume is behind me rather than my flag. We have Sweet Charity coming up on Monday or Tuesday. It's a cupcake kind of day. Hi, Hank. How are you?
How are you today, Karen?
So far, so good. It's sunny out, so
Perfect.
not
It's a
bad.
great day.
We'll take great days. Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Steve, I hear you've been pretty busy over there in West Town, getting stuff rolling.
Yes, we had this week we had our first large community meeting for stakeholders in the community.
Yeah, somebody told me they were going over. One of the elected officials was really excited about it.
Right. We had all of the different commissions, well, representatives from each commission, from the board of supervisors, and we invited people from the school district, both
That's who
private
it was.
and public. Right.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I was at the superintendent's meeting last Friday and David Christopher David. Uh-oh.
One of them. And
He was excited about it.
it went very well. We received back a like a 3-page list of ideas. So that's nice. We wanted to make this ground up. We didn't want a top down, here's what we're doing thing.
You got it. We the people.
Right.
Yeah, nice.
They
Good,
went very well.
good, good, good. I'll have you explain to the whole group what you were trying to do once we're almost all on. But yeah, it was David Christopher who I saw Friday, who we were talking about it to all the superintendents. He's like, wait, I think I'm doing something like that tomorrow over at West Town. I'm like, yes, you are. Steve's been busy. Good. And Leslie, how are you? Thank you for sending over. We got some materials coming up that we can share here and we'll promote as well.
Yep. I'm
Very
doing
good.
well, thank you.
Good. I hear the courthouse bell striking noon, and so I'd like to keep us rolling. We also have a online conference going on for 250 today with the American Association of Museums. So we're doing some double duty on our Zoom calls, it turns out, and we'll share all those notes with folks. So I'm Karen Simmons from the Community Foundation, trying to help Chester County get the 250 organized. And my handy note taker is Beth Kralis. How about we go around the Zoom and can you introduce who you are and where you're from? And then love to hear what you have going on as far as planning for 250. And we also have a community planning toolkit that's up online that we'll send out also that Steve has customized for Westtown, and I'd love to hear how that's working once we get everybody introduced. So if you don't mind, Leslie, I pointed you out. Can you introduce yourself and what brings you here?
Hi, I'm Leslie Burnick. I'm president of the Chester County Concert Band. We are based in Westchester, and first of all, we have a fun concert coming up on May 4th of this year. It's called Road Trip Across America. So that's, kind of in keeping with our
Oh,
250.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So we basically start in New York and wind our way all the way to California with stops in different states and everything. So so it should be kind of fun. As far as 250 events, we already have one booking, which is wonderful. That's going to be with the East Goshen, West Goshen celebration. I forget the name, something about trails or something, but I don't know exactly what they're calling it. Anyway, so we have that. And of course, we're looking for any other concert opportunities, either this summer, next summer, you know, and on into the future. Right now, we are not booked for the 4th of July. So we are hoping to get something for the 4th of July for this year. So if anyone has any connections, you know, where we might be able to play, that would be awesome. So anyway, yeah. So thank you so much for inviting us again.
Sure, of course. Um, we're not booked for the 4th of July. I'm wondering if we could actually develop, Beth K, a little social media thing on a few of the concert bands who would be available, just to let folks know that we could send it out looking for 250 music.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beth K, do you think we could do that and send it around? Because I don't know who's looking for what. And it'd be good to get the word out so you can get some ahead of time. Okay.
Correct. That'd be great. Thanks so much.
We'll see what we could come up with. So who else is on the call? Lee, can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Lee Wisdom. I'm the chair of Euclid Township Historical Commission. As far as 250, we're working on sort of an interactive map with QR codes and different historic resources throughout the township. And we're also thinking about collaborating with Cowan Township on some Vickers properties. And we're having a reading. It's kind of like Longwood does, you know, with a book where everybody knows the book. You can read it on your own, but we're also thinking about getting some events together to read together, like a kid's book and an adult's book. Right now, we're sort of focusing more on our own 50th anniversary of our commission. So we've got thinking about that as well. So we're getting there.
You
Got some good
are. Great. So you're doing like a community reads kind of thing with
Yeah.
children and adult maybe? Because we have the
Yes.
libraries also working on kind of getting book lists and suggestions and all that. We've been
Okay,
meeting with all the library systems overall, and you know, is anybody on from the library this week? Not yet.
How would I get info about that?
I am
From
actually going to be meeting with those communications directors in a couple more weeks.
Okay.
Um, and each library is handling it differently because of their region, but they're also trying to do something from the central district.
Okay.
So I would say talk to your library and see if
Okay.
they even are doing anything. Yeah. And then as we get more information, we're also going to put it out as we get it as well. So they're
Okay, good.
starting. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a book in mind for the kids. Milky Way Farm actually published a kids book several years ago. And so they apparently have many of them still left in storage. So we're going to see if we can maybe do like little readings for the kids at the schoolhouse. We have a
Okay.
one-room house in our historic district. So, but I
Nice.
would
Okay.
definitely be interested in other book things, especially where we're kind of not really sure where to go with the adult selection.
Right. If you can't get an easy answer from your library, can you email me and I'll hook you up with the folks at the Central Library who,
All
yeah, with Joe Sherwood. And there's a couple of those people that we're working with on the libraries.
right. Thank you.
That would be great. Yeah. Good, good, good. How about we also just go around and let's do a little, Hank, can you talk about where you're from and what's going on?
One second. Hi. So my name is Hank Summer. And I am, as I've told Karen before, I represent Chadds Ford. So we are that little town across the street from Chester County. So did I get your goat there, Karen?
I live in Kennett.
Yeah. So yeah, but you're at least Chester County. So
Well, Chadds
we
Ford
are
is Chester County. You just sort of separated 200 years ago.
we are friendly neighbors across
Mhm.
the road. So just a couple of things of interest. So I think I mentioned before, we have a historical black cemetery in Chadds Ford that has uh, not been cared for properly. Had a very vibrant, active community in the late 1800s to 1931. in 31, the caretaker, Mother Archie, passed away, and the family members were not in touch with that area. So you have this wonderful Black cemetery that has a lot of history underground. And when you walk the grounds of Mother Archie's, you have missing headstones. You have headstones that are not decipherable. I've been to a few seminars where back in a certain era, there were not grave markers put on the burial site. There were organic leaves and flowers and rocks and things of that nature. So what the township has done, we have contracted with an engineering firm, with an architectural firm. We're going to start to receive proposals to do a survey of the ground. We believe there's 80 some bodies there. There could be 81 or 102 because we just don't know. So I think the first step for us is to sort of, get the work done, do the investigations, and try and get a better sense of what's there on the site. We've also joined an association that's within Delaware County that is a group of townships and interested parties to do similar type works and work in a collaborative process. So that's one thing that we're doing. The other thing is we are talking to our neighbors across the street and down the street to see how we can collectively do something with neighbors, entities nearby Chatsworth.
Nice,
How's
nice.
that?
That is wonderful. It is
Okay, there you have it.
rolling along, rolling along.
Thank you.
Excellent. We'll keep spreading the word. Good, good, good. Steve, do you want to talk a little bit about what's going on in Westtown and how your community planning sessions have been going?
Sure. Hi, I'm Steve Werhoftig. I'm on Westtown Historical Commission. So we've been driving the initial discussions, but the Historical Commission is not going to run this thing. We have several commissions, and it's going to be we're looking for a steering committee made up of several people, stakeholders in the community. And to that event, we had a meeting last Saturday where we invited people from the school district, both private and public. We invited major business owners, people from all of our commissions, our local politicians, etc. So we had a crowd there, and this was an introduction. This was just to say, what is this? What's going on? And it generated a bunch of ideas. We got back, well, it was a lot of discussions, a lot of questions. As it's no surprise to anybody here that the very first thing that happens, it's confusing. Like, what are you talking about? What day is it going to happen?
Right. Everybody thinks it's one event, right?
Right. And Westtown in particular has a challenge in that although we have great historical locations, we have no center of town. There's no main street here. So there's we've never been a fireworks parade kind of a place. It's other stuff. So among the things that we had been discussing was to take the kind of events that occur anyway and to call them this way. For example, we have a series of historical talks. We have, of course, the Rex folks have these movie nights out in on lawns out at Oakbourne Park, and in particular there was some interest because somebody had mentioned a Black cemetery. Westtown has a historical Black cemetery that is going through some challenges at the moment, but this cemetery is very old. It's one of the original AME churches and cemeteries in the United States. Buried there are 14 Black Civil War soldiers, at least 14. We know them by name. So one of the ideas was to show the movie Glory and to emphasize, what these veterans that are buried here. And other things we do is we give out a Good Steward Award for once a year for whomever has curated a home or building um, uh, with love and care historically, so we can color that towards
Mhm.
PA 250. So,
Right.
and probably our biggest thing is that there is we have a history book. There is a West Town history book. It was in its second edition. We've sold out. They're all gone now. And like all history books, the day after you print it, they're out of date. So this was done, I think, 2017, I think, is when it was published. So we have a lot of updates to that. So what we're going to do is we're planning a 250 edition, our PA 250 edition of the book, and reissue it. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
copy of it.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
one of
say,
the rare copies. There's
got a rare copy here.
right. Um, and one wonderful thing about having a book like that, even if you have just a brochure
Yeah,
or something, is
a
that
big
whenever
one.
somebody moves into my neighborhood, I go over and we give them a copy.
This
Uh,
is 250
because
pages.
I know. It actually is a bit unwieldy, and of course, people are all saying how much they want to add to it, and I'm trying to say, guys, you
Mhm.
can't have it. You don't need a hand truck to move these things around. So anyway, that's uh, that's the long and the short of what we're up to.
So, Steve, you did two things that are fabulous that I wanted to ask about because you took the community planning idea and you got people to show up. That is one amazing thing. So I was wondering what you can offer to that. And then you also were able to focus people on reframing events that already exist for 2026 for liberty and justice for all, our history and heritage, rather than wanting to invent new ones that some other person did. So can you talk about what it took to get people there? Because I'm sure you didn't just say, come on over, and they said, sure, I'll give up a Saturday.
No. Good question, Karen. So it took two meetings. The first meeting had one person show up, so not as successful as we were looking for. But the second meeting had about 25 people. So the difference was that
Difference.
we gave ourselves more lead time. We asked everybody on our commission and people at the township, whom should we invite in particular? So we went and, anybody who belonged to large churches, uh, don't forget we have West Town School, a huge
Right.
community, et cetera. So, so we made sure that an invite went out personally to every stakeholder that we wanted to invite that came directly from our township manager. And didn't make this it's the historical guy doing it or the rec people doing it. And that got a response. And then we also have a list of people who regret, keep us in the
Keep
loop.
us in the loop. Couldn't make it. Zoom through.
Um,
Good.
and so anyway, that turned out well. And then at that meeting, we planned a follow-up early April. We were going to
Good.
get together and, regurgitate what's going on. As far as the repurposing, that was actually not that difficult because the easiest thing the hardest thing to do is to have everybody agree on something new
Yeah.
that they all have different ideas, and of course the first question is always, so where's the money? And
Right.
we explain that almost all of our meetings start with there is no money. Although with Shapiro asking for 65 million, I did send him a note saying we only need one. So
I'm
there's
sure we'll bring it right
there's
over.
lots left over for the rescue there. But
You're so kind.
but what we're able to do is we were able to go to these commissions and where they're scratching their heads, okay, what do we do? The first thing we said to them is, well, what do you already do? You already show movies throughout the summer.
Yeah.
We already have a photo contest, right?
Right.
It's very popular. We already have a Good Steward Award we have a West Town Day, we have things. So whenever you do any of those things, now you have the hard part is, what is it going to be this year, right? Well,
Right.
we already have that answer, right? We already know you go in this direction now. And that actually has made it easier for them to all to think about what to work on. So if we do nothing more than just build on that initially, I think we're already partway there.
I think you are too. Yeah, yeah. And I want to, yeah, congratulations. That is beautiful work. And I'm going to share my screen for a second to show you all this in case you haven't seen it yet, but we'll email it out after. Steve took our toolkit, which is way too long because we put everything in that everybody thought they wanted to know, and he just customized it to make sense for Westtown. But so you did it beautifully, Steve. You got that diverse group. You took a while to find the right folks to come, and there's a sample letter in here to be able to send out from whoever the right person is. And yeah, the whole thing is, what are we already doing? What can we put an overlay on things, focus on things that already exist that could just add an overlay. And the fact is, we have been working so hard to try to open up funds for the last year for 250. There's not really funds. What we've come to the sad realization is that all the funds that are opening up for the 250 from like Governor Shapiro's office and even in Philly, it's all for promotion of getting visitors in and safety and security related to the sporting events that are happening in Philadelphia. That's most of the stuff. Very little is coming in for program rebuilding of heritage sites, signage. That's just all going to continue to come from the foundations who that's what they feel like funding because it's their priority, and through any of the government agencies that do that ongoing heritage preservation interpretive signage funding, if they can get allocations under the new administration. So there's not a huge amount of funding opening up for 250 programs, education, or rebuilding. And we've been trying. So overlaying what you're already doing because it's authentic to you is the right tack to take. So there we go. Congratulations. And if anybody has other news, I would love to hear it. So who else is
Karen,
yeah,
it's
please.
Hank. I've
Hank.
just got a question to bounce back to Stephen.
Yeah.
Stephen, I found your update or information very exciting. So thank you for the sharing and certainly how you remastered this document. So when you had the second meeting, like 25 people, what was their, like, were there takeaways, like of the 25, like 10 want to roll up their shirt sleeves and be part of this story or experience? Or was it more like we need to know more about what we need to get into?
Mm,
Okay. Well, as Karen pointed out, we started the meeting with this the brief PowerPoint presentation.
Right.
And,
so what is 250? Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And,
This kind of stuff.
and I made it much more simplified
Yeah.
and took away the kind of stuff that would never apply to. I mean, you show them a slide of, oh my God, we'll never be able to do that. Don't do that.
course.
So,
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
slide here.
Yeah. You took out the stuff that
it-
didn't apply to you. That's why this is so
Right.
big, because you have to take stuff out.
Right,
Yeah.
but this was an important slide here where we list the 4 primary themes, and the reason
Sure.
why is because we're saying, look, these are the big themes that the county wants to get behind. We're not an iron and steel guy, and to be honest, we don't have a heck of a lot to do with the Philadelphia campaign other than contributing soldiers. So that leaves you with 2 things. So already, if we want to be congruent with what the county is doing, you've got 2 things to focus on, which actually makes it easy. The less you have to decide, the better, right? So our path to freedom is like that cemetery that I mentioned is this old AME church, which is purported to have been a major stop. It's on that map, a major stop on the Underground Railroad.
Underground Railroad, yeah.
Right. But primarily we're agricultural. We were a farm place. So we pointed out, for example, it just so happens the most famous lima bean eaten in and grown and eaten in the United States came from a dentist who had a little farm here and sold it to Burpee Seeds and became a multimillionaire. So it's these little things that that we can point out to. Westtown School, of course, has large tracts of farms, and so that's something that we could be talking about. So so in the beginning, it was just explaining, look, this is what the county is thinking about, and this is what adjacent townships are thinking about. And a few people pointed out that in the old days, there really wasn't any difference between some of these counties, so townships rather. So perhaps we should be thinking about doing things with East Goshen
Partner.
or
Yeah.
Partner.
type of thing, which of course is a great idea. So
Yeah.
basically, this was just, look, here's a short PowerPoint of what's going on. It's not a PowerPoint of here's what you and we must do, right? These
Understood.
are just possibilities.
Sure.
And we invited people to eventually contribute ideas. We didn't want to put people on the spot to suddenly have to generate, 50 ideas today,
Sure.
although a couple came out. But it's like, take it back and try to see how this fits into what you already do. The schools, for example, we talked to them about marching band stuff. We talked to them about the plays that they plan to put on. And could our local public schools do a 1776 type of thing? We have a great seafood purveyor here. Andy Gaudaletto. I said, well, Andy, every month you need to have a special, $17.76 something or other.
Whatever.
Whatever. That came out of the PowerPoint. So, and I was amazed. One of the property owners came back. The guy, if anybody's familiar with the Amish market on Route 202, he owns
Beautiful. Yeah.
Sure.
he owns the property. And he came back with 3 pages of stuff within the week. I couldn't believe it. So here, I would not have at the top of my mind, oh, let's get a property owner to come up with a bunch of ideas, right? The guy who owns but you never know who's going to come up with stuff. So I think we were just lucky, hitting everything at the right time, the right place.
Yeah.
And also one other word of caution, and that is, I find that in our township and possibly other townships, there's sort of there's sometimes I don't know, a little tension between commissions, right? Commissions, who owns what? Do we ever go to each other's meetings? Does anybody know what anyone else is doing, type of a thing? So to take a step back and to say, we want every commission, no matter what you're responsible for, to come up with something appropriate. For example, we have a commission for ecological stuff, right?
Right.
I don't know what it is that they would do, but they would. So letting them take as much ownership as possible of what they can contribute to this thing seems to have worked.
Great.
We'll see.
Yeah.
You know,
Beautiful. Beautiful. You are our poster child, man. That is terrific. I remember when you said one person showed up to the first one, and boy, you laid more seeds and kept going. So this is good. You got some momentum. Nice.
Well, it wasn't 0.
No, you were there. And if you all need help and if you want to do this in your own area and you need help, we will come out and help. Steve just took the handout, modified it, and ran with it, which is great. But we like to just come on out and help get it rolling. So we are trying to help get it rolling in the Kennett area, in Phoenixville, and in Coatesville right now. But if you're in some other areas and you want a 250 outreach officer to help, just say the word. Yeah. And we'll also get Steve and the good counsel involved there. A little bit busy, but good. So what else is going on?
Can
Other
I say a
questions?
few words?
Yes, of course,
Hi.
Dr. Greenberg. How are you doing?
Good. I wanted, well, when I heard anything about the grants, I wanted to jump in and say, we had heard previously that there were no funds available from the county, et cetera. However, there were funds available from the state, from PA 250, and we submitted a grant.
Oh, you're at the mill, aren't you?
Yes,
The mill in Selma.
so we submitted a grant. We needed a new roof, and we were awarded $10,000.
You
And
were the only group in Chester County that applied for the first round of PA 250 funding, and you're the only group in Chester County that got a grant.
yeah, and not only did we get it, we got a letter saying, they were so pleased with the grant application that it was really an ideal application. So they're coming. There's going to be a group meeting at next Tuesday. People from the grant committee and some of the local representatives are going to be there. So, it was wonderful to receive that money, and we need it. We need a new roof on our visitor center. So I'm very pleased that we won it, and we're going to use it. I guess, could I say a few more words?
Yeah, so the mini grants are going to open back up again in March for the PA 250. So I guess you got to ask Dr. Greenberg for a copy of that proposal.
Well, I think that they're going to have another grant cycle
March.
in the fall. In March, okay,
I
in
thought
March.
it was March, yeah.
In
And they're
March.
mini grants from $5,000 to $20,000.
That's right. And we can't submit. You can only submit one grant. So but there'll be maybe even another cycle next spring, not spring, fall. So that I'll say a few more words. We're very fortunate at the mill because we have volunteers, and when we've discussed the 250 celebration, we had several volunteers saying this is just, we'd love to do it. So we got started probably in March with forming a committee, and because it was very nice to get the funds for the roof, but we keep building on what we're going to do. We already have things that we're going to set up early this year. We have a colonial bread oven that we only use maybe once or twice a year. So we're going to get volunteers to run it. We can't, we don't have the funds to pay any people to run it. So the volunteers will take over, and we will have a colonial bread oven running every week. Well, at least once a month, if not more. And we've, again, I don't want to go through all the things we're doing, but we keep adding on things. But we're setting up a speakers bureau this year in preparation for a more advanced speakers bureau next year, perhaps monthly talks. We're setting up on our let's see. Our committee is looking at photos so we could show pictures of the restoration of our mill 25 years ago. We have developing new signs, and we were hoping to approach the township. And Selma Mill is in West Pikeland, and West Pikeland has Yellow Springs, and that has been the only historic site they really publicize, which was very disappointing. So we are hoping that West Pikeland would join with us but we've had a very good start, and I think it's not the funds that we received, but I think it's because of the enthusiasm of the people. Everybody was just, I think they were ready to do this, and when we got the opportunity, people jumped at it, and I think the enthusiasm has been more than we expected, greater than we expected.
That is terrific. Congratulations. It's rolling, especially at the Hill. Very nice.
Can I ask Karen, I'm sorry,
Go
Bernie,
ahead, Hank.
what's your association or your group or your township?
The Mill at Anselma, ANSELMA.
Thank you. Great,
In
thanks.
Chester Springs. Who else has something to contribute to what's up? Questions, comments, observations, what's been on the docket?
I can talk a bit. This is Jennifer with Willistown Township. We're pretty new to this. We're hoping to do some things with Malvern Borough. But one thing I really liked that you guys talked about was repurposing programs that you already have. We have a program. It's called Go Wilma, and it stands for Get Outside.
I know Go
Malvern.
Wilma. We funded Go Wilma.
Willistown and Malvern. And basically it combines summer reading with outdoor adventures, and kids and their caretakers follow clues to parks and preserves, and some of them are historic Paoli battlefields on there. Actually, Easttown joined us, and they had a few historic properties. So you definitely made me think we'll absolutely need to repurpose this as a celebration of the 250. So I thought that was outstanding. Thank you guys for talking about that.
Oh, I think that's great. Jennifer, can we put you, do you know Jim Christ?
I do, yes. I work a lot with Bart von Valkenburg, so I do know Jim through Bart. So I will definitely be working with Malvern as well to do something. They've got a meeting coming up actually on Monday for their steering committee.
Yeah, I'd like to make sure that we get you in the planning group over there, because they were just coming up with a list of folks kind of along the lines of what Stephen did, to come up to make sure we're including in the right. So we'll make sure. I may have Angela Scully reach out to you, because she's our outreach officer who's trying to make sure we got enough people, the right folks in there. So that'd be
absolutely.
Okay. Excellent. That is terrific. And I forgot about the Go Wilma in the books. My gosh, that is terrific. So thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get you in the Paoli Melbourne group if that's all right.
Thank you.
Excellent. No, thank you for showing up and reminding me. Good. What else is going on? Questions, thoughts? Anybody? Are there questions from other folks who are on the line?
This is, I'm sorry, this is Kathy Massey.
Yes. Oh, you just went so that we can't hear you. You're on mute.
You're on mute, but we can see you now.
We can see you, but we can't hear you.
Sorry. Okay. Can you hear me
Now we
now?
got you both. Yes.
Okay, good. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I can give you a little bit of an update on what West Goshen is doing. You probably know that we're partnering with East Goshen. We meet, we've met twice already, our committee. We meet again on March 4th. And
on this topic, March 4th. Get it?
I'm sorry, say that. Say it again.
There was one group that wanted to have a meeting on March 4th because it has to do with history, heritage, and marching. So March 4th.
March 4th. March 4th, right. Yeah, okay. So I'm not sure how much you already has already been
No, please share it. We'd love to know.
Okay, so well, if I start from the beginning, we've set a date for a big event. It's going to be March 30th, 2026. I'm sorry, May 30th, 2026. because Memorial Day is actually the weekend before the last weekend. So we thought May 30th would be nice weather. We're kind of modeling it on the 1817 celebration that we had. That was the splitting of the Goshens into East and West, because we were Goshenville originally.
Right.
We have a theme. We're calling ourselves Goshenville 250 on the path to independence.
I love it.
We're going to focus on the Battle of the Clouds because the Boot Tavern, Hal had set up at the Boot Tavern. We're hoping to place a marker there. We're having a little bit of trouble. We were trying to get a hold of the authorities that we need to get the
Heritage marker. Yeah.
permission to place a marker. We also want to focus on the theme of the Quakers and how they contributed to the character of the area. There were 17 original families that came up and started the Goshen meeting. And we were looking into them. We're doing a little research on the families, on the properties. We want to see. There was somebody that was named. It was called King of Goshen,
Oh my
Robert
gosh.
Williams. Yeah. So, and we're going to do a couple different things at the big celebration, like crown the King of Goshen. We're going to find somebody. But
I'm an
that
onion
was one of the
queen.
things.
I'm the onion queen from upstate New York, just by the way, if you need any queens.
Okay.
The King of Goshen.
We know that we know about there was a widow named Lydia Davis who suffered depredations, and we're doing some research, but we're doing research on all the families. We want to find out if they have any interesting stories behind them. We're also going to do things like, we're going to do things at the East Goshen Park and also the West Goshen Park. We're thinking of doing, like Steve had said, a movie night.
Good.
Or maybe a thing where just a celebration where we would have different exhibits. One of our members of the Historic Commission is a gun. He's a gun collector and he has a musket. And he may do a kind of a presentation about that. We had a meeting last night, the Historic Commission, and we were talking about the money. And
Yeah.
Rick, one of our members, was saying how he remembers in 1976 how it was kind of the same way. The money didn't come until very late.
Yeah.
And it was a trickle down kind of thing.
Yep.
And our chairman, Mike Pilligali, mentioned that he had seen an article in the Inquirer on Monday about Philadelphia isn't really on board yet. So, we have a lot of good ideas. We want to maybe run a bus trip to the Museum of the American Revolution. There's I can't remember what his name is. He's the blacksmith there at
I have his card. He was good.
yeah,
He's great.
He knows someone that works at the Museum of American Revolution, and they may be able to tailor a presentation to our local area.
Okay.
Which would be good. We're also, we're going to have different exhibits. We're going to have some, maybe have some oral histories of people and their families. I don't know what else I can tell you here. I was looking at my notes.
Great. This is great.
The Quakers.
Yeah.
We kind of wanted to, we knew the women did a lot. And the Quaker women had a lot more autonomy than
people would know.
Yes, so we wanted to look up. We're calling it lesser known heroes.
Mhm.
forgotten Quaker women. Yeah, we just have a bunch of different little ideas that we're want to try out. We have a drone apparently. West Goshen has a drone, and we may do a video, do a movie of the Philadelphia campaign, trace it through the
Ah,
streets
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
show that. We really have,
You got,
there's a lot of good ideas on the table right now. We'll see where they all
that's
go. But
right.
I know the video is starting now. They're starting to do that. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention, they put a survey in the newsletter, the West Goshen Township newsletter.
Uh-huh.
If anybody that wants to participate or has anything, yeah, any of
Great.
the
So they got it
residents,
out there. Good, 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 good.
right?
It is
So
spreading.
don't know how much more I can tell you. Yeah, the bus tours. We
This is
know what the
exciting.
budget. We know what the budget was. I know we're all excited when we talk about it. It's
It's
a lot
real.
of fun. I
Yeah.
mean, we have questions like, did the Quakers dance? Did
Uh,
they? What did they do for fun? What was their lifestyle? We know they're
okay.
farmers, and we know
Okay.
that they were conservative, and yeah, but yeah, I mean, we have the Grange here,
Yes.
at the meeting there, and we know that the meeting house is split later on. But
Mhm.
we just want to know how they lived.
Excellent. Oh, so many good things starting to really come out of this. This is terrific. All right. Great questions, answers to come, right? Excellent. Thank you. This is terrific. I'm really excited to see it's taking off now. So this is good timing. Good. Anybody else have questions, comments, observations?
Oh, God, where are we? Oh, here we are.
What are you thinking, Hank?
Yeah, Karen, I'm sorry about that. What's the position that we take relative to independent restaurants or maybe inns or B&Bs in our little townships relative to 250? Is there a separate hospitality discussion going on with another
Yeah.
committee, or how do you want us to look at that? Even restaurants, and probably not chains per se, but independents.
Um, Not change, but independence. The Convention and Visitors Bureau with Susan Hamley and Nina Kelly are trying to reach out to the restaurants, B's and B's and all that sort of thing to get and food and
Perfect.
beverage folks. But at the same time, people pay attention when they want to pay attention. So I would include them. There are some restaurants and taverns, especially tavern talks. They're really good at doing tastings and testings. And America's Pie Pizza Place. It just, yeah. So you've got some great ones right in Chad's Ford who are prime for all things American and Brandywine. So yeah, they're starting to come up. Some are about tavern talks and food and drink specials. So the more that you can bring them in as business people that are really responsive to the community, great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. The other is we have this places of declaration thing, and I just wanted to bring that out. We're working on it with Rose Fennell at Valley Forge National Historic Park, and we'll soon have a web page up that anybody who wants to get together to declare anytime during the summer, we're actually expanding it, summer 2026, to getting groups together to read and talk about the Declaration of Independence. And we envision that will take place not just at historic sites, but it can be very casual at picnics, pubs, taverns, any place. There can be some formal forums. Just, yeah. So that's another, again, we'll have resources online for it and we'll promote it. But that's a great thing for some eating places to think about doing as well.
Get into Cassell yet?
Jennifer, you said something, but I think it wasn't, yeah. Did you have a question?
Sorry, I had someone come into my office and I wasn't muted.
I thought so.
I apologize.
Not to worry, it's okay, it's good. Anybody else have something? Susan, I think you there, smiling. You
Yes,
got some questions or
yeah.
news?
Well, I'm very busy listening, and I'm very encouraged at all the wonderful ideas. And I'm encouraged that there's committees and groups working on this. I'm not involved in any of that right now, but I live in Hershey's Mill, where
Ah,
we do all kinds of things as groups here.
you
And
have Bruce Maude over there, don't you?
yes, Bruce is here. He was just featured in our monthly digest, as a matter of fact,
Uh-huh.
a write up on him and his life. But at any rate, we do have a lot of interest in history in the mill here. And I'm taking a bus group. I'm on our bus committee. We have a 35-person bus, and we're going down to Bucks County in April to do the tour of the mansions along the Delaware.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything like that. It's all included in one day. It's only $80, and it includes lunch at a tavern, the old George II Historic Tavern, which is apparently the oldest operating tavern in the United States, continuously operating. But anyhow, we're going to do that in April as a group here. I think we'll have a full bus of people. Is there anything like that in that's currently in existence in our county? Because that's
You know
Bucks
what?
County.
That is interesting. We're trying to get trails and tours together. And so
Yeah,
there's the yes and no answer. No, of course, there's nothing exactly like that. But at the same time,
that's spearheaded by Pennsbury Manor. I mean,
yeah,
they have, and that's a national place. It's funded by the national parks, I believe.
yeah,
The Pennsbury Manor. So
Yeah.
they have that as the central, but they're all independent places that are linked. And this tour's been going on, I think, for quite a few years, where they spend the whole day going from place to place with lunch in the middle.
Interesting.
And it's just perfect for people like us who can get together groups and go as a big group.
We'll have to talk to the CVB folks because I think the stance that they've taken on the tours is that, truthfully, what I'm understanding is that Chester County is not a bus tour friendly place, with all our things being on smaller side roads, the Chester County winding roads. So
Well,
it's
we have a
smaller
small bus.
tours. Yeah, it's a smaller tours. And we've tried to
Oh.
work with Craft
Oh,
on this as well.
okay.
So it is the smaller tour operators in Chester County to be able to go to some of the winding roads that connect things. And a lot of the trails and paths are really designed for cars and small vans. So yeah, that is a good question that we'll pose to the CVB for this, as we're trying to get the trails and tours upgraded and more public.
Yeah, that would be ideal and a perfect time to be inaugurating it and promoting it. But the other thing that I'm very interested in, and I want to get more going on even in our own little Hershey's Mill community, is a focus on our history of slavery and our history of freedom seekers. So I would like to see a whole lot more. Maybe it's not going to happen in 2 years, but at least something in terms of tour groups that can follow the Underground Railroad sites and highlight the individuals who were instrumental. And there were a lot of Black people who were instrumental in that Underground Railroad. And that needs to really be explored a whole lot more. I mean, and the misnomer that it was only the Quakers is also something that should be explored more. Although the Quakers were essential, they were also slave owners, a lot of them. So, including William Penn. So, I just wanted to. I mean, there's so much history that needs to be understood, and not ignored on that score. And it's been something that we've neglected up till now. I just see this as a great opportunity to bring that to the fore, but I don't know even how that would get started. The Chester County History Center, I belong, and they're doing, I believe it's in May, a history contest with the youth of the high school youth. I think that's a perfect opportunity to get the youth involved and get the ideas of the youth involved and the energies of the youth involved in all these projects. I'd like to see, the high schoolers on every single committee working on these projects and get the teachers behind them, but let the students take the lead.
So Susan, I have two pieces of information on this that might be interested to the whole group as well. One is that for your first comment on the Underground Railroad tours, have been gaining traction with the Kennett Underground Railroad tours and trying to establish a gateway at the Pines in Kennett for Underground Railroad tours. And also the Harriet Tubman Byway Commission has now got a presence in Chester County. So if you look at the Harriet Tubman Byway website, you'll see that they're trying to connect 123 different sites for the Underground Railroad and the Path to Freedom throughout Chester County. And so
wow.
Byway project that they've been granted some funds over the last several years and trying to get it up and rolling. The fact is a lot of the private funding right now and federal funding obviously has been kind of frozen because it's a DEI initiative. But at the same time, in the long term, there's an expectation that this will continue. So look at the Harriet Tubman Byway website, please, and give them your feedback. And Underground Railroad. The other is
I'll keep going. Yeah.
No, so that, gaining traction, but in light of realities at the same time, but it's there.
Right.
The other part is that I met last week on Friday with all the superintendents of Chester County schools about being able to work with students and teachers, mostly on extracurricular things. In the Chester County, we do not influence curriculum, but there are so many extracurricular things going on. And we've got, we'll do monthly Zoom-in meetings with teachers and various groups of throughout the school district. The superintendents are excited about 250 because it gives a frame and a focus. And those teachers are they're already taken off with it. We had to wait to be able to get on their radar screen because they're planning time. And truthfully, while we were in meeting with the superintendents, there were ice raids in southern Chester County, so various got called out during the meetings. So there's a lot on the dockets of the schools, but at the same time, liberty and justice for all, and Chester County's part in our path to independence is crucial. So they get it, they like it, and schools are in. We're trying to reach out more to the private schools now. So Stephen, I was glad that you got the Westtown folks over. We're trying to get the word out to the private schools next.
Excellent. Well, thanks for the tips. I'm still lurking here.
Please do. Kathleen, you got something to add, Kathy? Oh, you're on mute again. You need to unmute, Kath. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm sorry, I have to flip the screen to get to the unmute. Susan, do you know Steve Lyons? Steve Lyons is okay, so he's involved with the Friends of Shiloh AME Cemetery that Stephen is also.
I guess I've heard him talk.
He's doing a lot of research. He we all know about Kennett and the Underground Railroad, but the Underground Railroad was kind of everywhere. And he's trying to make connections between there's the Shiloh Cemetery, and then if you go through Westtown to down to it used to be the Bird in Hand Tavern, that barn that was an antique store at Strasburg and Ellis. Do you know where I am?
Yes.
Okay, just sold. And he's trying to make connections between different places, and he is doing a lot of research. He's seriously into that, so you might want to if you want to send me your email, I can email him and have him contact you.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
How do I
he'd
connect
be
with you?
thrilled.
Yeah.
Or I can give you his email actually. Uh, yeah.
L- He's also an incredible musician. So if you just Google Stephen Lyons on Facebook and all,
Yeah, I was at that.
StephenLyons, singer, songwriter, social activist. Yeah,
Okay, so
incredible.
his email is Lionsheart, LYONSHEART 73 at gmail.com. And his name is Stephen. Yeah, STEPH.
Yeah, I remember him at that meeting early on with the huge group.
He
Got
would
it.
be, I
Yeah.
think he would be thrilled to have somebody to corroborate with because he's,
It's
yeah.
only him at this point?
Well,
Oh,
no, I
no.
mean,
He's always
And
looking for more of supports. Yeah,
yes,
more inspiration.
I
of
think,
course.
Karen, to Kathleen's point, if you go onto the West Town website, he's made presentations before the committee
Hmm.
about his specific story to share and get support from the owner of the adjacent facility to the cemetery who doesn't
Yeah,
quite see the bigger picture.
yeah,
Ah,
it's a large challenge
Yes,
mhm.
doing the good work.
yes, he is.
Yes, yes. Well, this has been an interesting 59 minutes, and I don't want to overtake your time. So anybody else got something to add to it? Questions, comments, or if you want to stay after with more questions, we can do that. But Beth Kay has been taking notes. If you by chance have anything you want to email us that we can put up on the whiteboard or for works in progress and tribute to you, we would love to. Just so that we can share more. So there are people who look at these recordings and pass them on and keep looking at the whiteboard for ideas. I'm fascinated that people have the patience to be able to look at the recordings, but I think this was an especially good update. So if you don't mind sending anything you have to us, we will just keep it up to give other people ideas. So, but thank you. This is great. I say on with the show and keep rolling. And please, if you need anything, you know our numbers. We'd be delighted to come out and try to help out. And we are trying to shake out some funding, mini grants and all that good stuff. So yeah, onward. Make it fit what you're already doing and frame it over top and on with the shows, right? Liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very
Yes,
much.
thank you.
All right. Take care. You're doing great. I appreciate everything you're doing.
All right, you're still recording, but if you stop it on your end, we should be good.
Trying. You got it.
All right.
So what do you think?